In a previous video, I showed how to mill down lumber using a stationary joiner, a thickness planer, and a table saw. That method is limited by the width of the joiner and the depth of cut in a table saw. This time, I'm going to mill down some much wider beams cutting only with the chainsaw and flattening and straightening the board using a handheld joiner rather than a stationary joiner. If you don't have heavy equipment and a very large joiner, it is much easier to move a small joiner to a large piece of lumber than the other way around. The downside, of course, is that a handheld joiner is nowhere near as accurate as a larger standalone joiner. It's very important to understand how the tool works, or else while you may get a smooth board, you will not get a flat board. If you look at the joiner from the side, you'll see that the rotating blade is aligned so that the cut matches exactly with the back of the joiner. That back plate or sole has to be sitting on a reference point, or else your cuts will not be plain and you'll just get a smooth but twisted board. So the first step when working on a large log like this is just to knock off all the obvious high spots. But once that's done, I take the jointer and run it down one edge repeatedly until I have a 2.5 or 3 inch wide section that I know is straight and smooth. Then I can rest the sole on that planed 3 inch wide edge, tilt the joiner to the side, and then slide it along, widening the cut. It's often necessary to make diagonal cuts across the log, speed up and maintain the surface. As the work progresses, sight down the board from the end so that you can see any twists or dips that are being milled into the lumber and take steps to correct. I'll just repeat doing this over and over again until I have a smooth, flat, and planed board. Should point out the obvious here though, while I may get a straight board, I haven't actually planed this to thickness. For now, since this wood hasn't fully dried, I'm going to just leave it like this. Well, that's all there really is to it. It's a bit of work and it makes an awful lot of chips, but in the end you get a full width board, beautiful lumber. I can hardly wait till this stuff's dried so that I can use it for something fun.